Levi Miles is a student at the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee. And he had sort of an open secret that he was gay. Now, people at school knew that, but his family didn't know that. Now, recently, with all the attention on same-sex marriage being given by the Supreme Court, considering a couple of cases, he decided the time has come, and so he posted a Facebook message, take a look, making clear for the first time coming out publicly on social media, and you can see right there, he gets a lot of likes, and his friends are very positive. Now, in the immediate aftermath of this, he goes home for Easter break, and he has to confront his parents. Now, his mother is initially very supportive. She's fine with it, but he's worried about his father. We actually have a quote when the mother says that the father saw that message and now knows. So this is the quote from Levi. "My obvious response to this news was, 'Oh, how'd he take it?' And she said that he wasn't too happy about it, mostly disappointed and kind of hurt from what I gathered. He'd even had the gall to say that if I weren't in theater, I wouldn't have ended up gay because it wouldn't have seemed so normal. My dad has never been open-minded on the topic of homosexuality, and I know that he was praying that I wouldn't be gay."
Yeah, you're right, John. This is really heartwarming. I'm glad you brought
At this
up
point, not so much.
He had 59 likes, and I thought he should have had 69 likes.
Well,
If I was his dad, that's how I would have done.
I'm sure he would have loved that idea.
Horrible.
But so they go through a very tense week, and then eventually he heads back to his university, and his mother says, you know, your father has sort of a weird way of saying that he loves you. Look in your notebooks. And so he goes into his bag, and he sees that picture tucked between two of his books. And then on the back of it, it says, written in his father's handwriting, "I will always love you no matter what."
So there's your heartwarming end.
I think that
Heart
is really...
warmed. It was colder earlier. A couple of degrees went up.
Yeah.
Look, because I'm a dad now, and I think when I hear the ugly coming out stories where the dad, etc., doesn't accept the kid fully, I think, how could you? Because I remember pictures like me and Pro took like that. And I think, when you raise a kid like that, how could you possibly turn on that kid almost under no matter what, let alone just because he happened to be born a certain way?
I feel like it's one of the it's one of the things I'm most proud about in our society right now is how much the world is changing, and that we're actually seeing people change their minds. You can look back and everyone knows the right things to say in terms of racism, at least when it comes to blacks in America, certainly not with Arabs. But it's the first time that I think I've seen in my lifetime that people are really acknowledging, oh, my thoughts on this were not right. I'm at fault. And seeing people open up and change it, I think that's really beautiful. And it takes a lot of courage for not just the kids to step forward, but also his dad to, well, I guess he was forced to, but I'm still glad that he did.
Yeah, and look, this is a bit of a trend, and it's a really positive trend.
Yes.
That we're now seeing so many parents who didn't think they had it in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to a point where they say, you know what? I love my kid no matter what. And so I didn't like this idea. I didn't grow up liking this. It's not something that I'm comfortable with. But that's still my little boy, and there's no way I'm not going to love him.
I have so much respect for that. I mean, it's very easy for me to have very liberal values. I grew up with two Democrat parents. It's another thing, exactly what you said, to have someone who didn't think that they would ever be forced to be in this situation and are now turning a cheek because they say, hey, I really love my son, therefore I'm going to look at this issue from a whole new perspective. I couldn't agree more that it's really admirable.